The weather models just updated, and what they're showing for the next 72 hours is worse than anyone predicted. 3 major cities are about to get buried. Wind chills are dropping to levels we haven't seen in a decade, and the flooding situation in the Pacific Northwest just became critical. But here's what nobody's telling you. This is just the beginning. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly which hour tonight the heaviest snow hits your area. At the 5-minute mark, you'll learn why this Arctic blast is tracking further south than the original forecast. And at the 7-minute mark, I'll show you the temperature swing that's going to cause massive problems next week. Right now, live radar is showing something alarming. Snow is intensifying across the Midwest faster than expected. What started as light flurries 2 hours ago has already become moderate to heavy snow in parts of Iowa, and the storm is just getting organized. Here's the first shocking detail. By 11 a.m. this morning, Champaign, Illinois could be experiencing snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. That's blizzard-level intensity in terms of accumulation rate. Springfield, Illinois is next in line, then Indianapolis, then Columbus, Ohio. Each city will get hit with a 6 to 10 hour window of continuous snow. And because the temperatures are in single digits, this snow is different. Think about cotton balls versus wet snowballs. Normal snow at 30 degrees is heavy and wet. It's hard to shovel, but it compacts. This snow at 10 degrees, it's light, fluffy, and it stacks up like foam. What does that mean for you? A forecast of 4 inches in normal conditions becomes 6 inches in these temperatures, maybe 7. The snow-to-liquid ratio is extreme. Meteorologists call this a high-ratio snow event. For every 1/10 of an inch of liquid precipitation, you get 15 to 20 times that in snow depth, sometimes more. So when the models show 0.4 inches of liquid, we're looking at 6 to 8 inches of actual snow accumulation. And here's the dangerous part most forecasts aren't emphasizing. This fluffy snow is deceptive. It looks innocent. It seems easy to shovel at first, but underneath, where it contacts the pavement, it's bonding instantly because of the extreme cold. Within an hour of falling, that bottom layer becomes ice, hard ice. And then more snow falls on top. You end up with a layered system. Ice on the bottom, fluffy snow on top. Your car can't get traction. Your shoes slide. And if you wait until tonight to shovel, you're going to need an ice chipper, not a snow shovel. Let me give you the timeline city by city, because timing is everything with this storm. Des Moines, Iowa, you're in it right now. Snow continues through 11 a.m., then begins to taper. Total accumulation, 4 to 6 inches. Some areas could hit 7. Davenport, Iowa, heaviest snow between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. 5 to 8 inches likely. Jackpot zones could see 9 inches. Springfield, Illinois, the bullseye. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. brings the most intense snow. 7 to 8 inches is my forecast. Some locations could exceed 9 inches. Champaign, Illinois. Same timeline as Springfield. This is where we might see the highest totals in Illinois. 8 to 9 inches is definitely in play. Indianapolis, noon to 6 p.m. is your window. 4 to 6 inches expected. Northern suburbs could see 7 inches. Columbus, Ohio, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. 3 to 6 inches. Southern parts of the metro could hit 7 inches in isolated spots. Cincinnati, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., 3 to 6 inches likely. Cleveland, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., 4 to 6 inches expected, plus lake effect overnight. Now here's where it gets really interesting. By 6 p.m. tonight, the storm's center moves into Pennsylvania, and that shift creates a heavy snow band that nobody's talking about. Uniontown, Pennsylvania. You're under a winter storm warning for a reason. 6 to 9 inches of snow tonight. Maybe more. The Appalachian Mountains from West Virginia through western Pennsylvania, winter storm conditions guaranteed. 5 to 9 inches is the range. But then the storm does something unexpected. It speeds up. By 8 p.m., the snow is already pushing into the mid-Atlantic. And it's arriving during Friday night rush hour. Washington, D.C. Snow begins around 7 p.m., gets heavy by 9 p.m., continues through midnight, 2 to 4 inches likely. Baltimore, similar timeline, potentially heavier amounts, 3 to 5 inches possible. Philadelphia, snow arrives by 8 p.m., heavy at times through 11 p.m., 2 to 4 inches. New York City, here's the big question everyone's asking. And the answer is yes. You're getting snow. Snow begins around 9 p.m. The heaviest band sets up between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. This band could drop 2 to 3 inches in just 3 hours over parts of New Jersey, northern Delaware, and the New York Metro. Total accumulation for New York City, 2 to 4 inches, but suburbs north and west could see 4 to 6 inches. Central New Jersey, this is where we might see a jackpot. Eastern Maryland and northern Delaware too. The models are showing a narrow band of very heavy snow. 6 to 7 inches is possible in select locations. By Saturday morning, the snow reaches New England. Boston, light to moderate snow Saturday morning. 1 to 3 inches expected. Cape Cod, snow continues into Saturday afternoon before finally exiting. 1 to 2 inches likely. Now, while all this snow is falling, something else is happening that's far more dangerous. The Arctic blast is intensifying. Current temperatures across the upper Midwest are already brutal, but they're about to get much worse. And here's the critical update that just came in. The cold air is tracking further south than originally forecast. Areas that were supposed to see temperatures in the teens are now looking at single digits. Places that were forecasted for single digits are now facing below zero temperatures. And the wind chill, it's being upgraded from -30 to -45 in multiple locations. Let me explain what that means in practical terms. At -30 wind chill, frostbite can occur in about 10 to 15 minutes on exposed skin. It's dangerous, but you have some time to react. At -45 wind chill, frostbite can occur in 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe less. Your margin for error is gone. This is the difference between dangerous and life-threatening. Here's what's driving this Arctic outbreak. A massive dome of high pressure is building over northern Canada. And underneath that high pressure, the coldest air of the season is settling in. That air is now spilling southward like water pouring out of a bucket. And there's nothing to stop it. The jet stream has buckled. It's allowing this Arctic air to plunge all the way to the Gulf Coast. States that rarely see hard freezes are about to get them. Saturday morning, when you wake up, here's what you'll see. Minnesota, actual temperatures of -20 to -25. Wind chills of -35 to -45. Wisconsin, -15 to -20. Wind chills of -30 to -40. Iowa, -10 to -15. Wind chills of -25 to -35. Illinois, -5 to -10 in the north. 0 to 5 in Chicago. Wind chills of -20 to -30. Indiana, 0 to 5 degrees. Wind chills of -10 to -20. Ohio, 5 to 10 degrees. Wind chills of -5 to -15. And remember, these are the actual numbers. This isn't exaggeration. This isn't worst-case scenario. This is the forecast. Saturday afternoon doesn't bring relief. High temperatures across the Midwest will struggle to reach zero in many locations. Minneapolis might stay below zero all day. The high temperature, below zero. Chicago will be lucky to hit 5 degrees. Milwaukee might make it to 3 degrees. These are temperatures we haven't seen in years. And they're coming with wind that makes it feel even colder. But here's the question that should concern everyone. How far south does this cold go? Sunday morning gives us the answer. And it's shocking. Northern Texas, temperatures in the low 20s, wind chills in the teens. Oklahoma, teens to low 20s. Wind chills near 10 degrees. Arkansas, low 20s. Wind chills in the teens. Mississippi, mid-20s to around 30. Wind chills in the 20s. Tennessee, teens to low 20s. Wind chills in single digits and teens. Kentucky, teens. Wind chills near 0. This cold air is penetrating deep into the South, places that don't have the infrastructure for this kind of weather, where homes aren't insulated for extreme cold, where pipes aren't protected, and Monday morning, that's when the cold reaches its maximum southern extent. Louisiana, freezing temperatures likely, some areas in the upper 20s, the Florida Panhandle, low 30s, first freeze of the season for many locations. Alabama, low to mid-20s. Georgia, mid to upper 20s in the north. The Carolinas, low to mid-20s. This is widespread freezing across the entire southeast, and it's arriving fast. Now, while the eastern two-thirds of the country freezes, let's talk about what's happening in the Pacific Northwest. Because this situation is going from bad to worse, rivers are already at major flood stage. The ground is completely saturated, and another atmospheric river is about to make landfall. Here's what makes this so dangerous. When the ground is saturated, it can't absorb any more water. Every drop of rain that falls immediately runs off into streams and rivers. And when those rivers are already at flood stage, adding more water is like overfilling a bathtub. It has to go somewhere, and that somewhere is out of the riverbanks and into communities. Washington and Oregon have been dealing with heavy rain for days. Some areas have received over 10 inches in the last week. Rivers are swollen. Flood warnings are widespread. And now, another 5 to 7 inches is coming over the next few days. The Skagit River, the Snohomish River, the Chehalis River, all are running high. All are at risk of major flooding. Landslides are another major concern, especially in areas with steep terrain. The soil is waterlogged, it's heavy, and gravity is pulling it downhill. We've already seen several landslides in the past 48 hours. More are likely as this rain continues. Burn scar areas from recent wildfires are at extreme risk. With no vegetation to hold the soil in place, even moderate rain can trigger devastating mudslides. If you're in western Washington or Oregon, near a river or in a landslide-prone area, you need to be on high alert. Have a plan. Know your evacuation route. Don't wait for water to be rising to figure out where you're going. Move valuables to higher floors. Important documents should be in waterproof containers. Keep your car fueled and ready to go. And if authorities issue evacuation orders, leave immediately. Don't try to wait it out. Don't think you can handle it. Water is incredibly powerful and unpredictable. Now let me show you what happens after this initial weather onslaught. Because the pattern gets even more interesting next week. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we see a dramatic shift. The jet stream lifts northward over the Rockies and Great Plains, and that allows warm air to surge northward. We're talking about temperature swings of 80 to 100 degrees in some locations. Places that see -20 on Saturday could be at 50 degrees by Wednesday. That's a 70-degree temperature swing in 4 days. Nebraska and Kansas are looking at potential record-high temperatures next week. Some models show temperatures reaching the low to mid-70s on Tuesday and Wednesday. In December, in Nebraska, but here's why that rapid warm-up is problematic. All the snow that just fell, it's going to melt fast. Rapid snowmelt causes flooding. The frozen ground can't absorb the water. It runs off into streams and rivers that are still flowing high from the snow that's already melted. Ice jams become a concern too. When ice on rivers starts to break up, it can create dams. Water backs up behind these ice jams, and when they finally break, flash flooding occurs downstream. We saw this happen in the Midwest in March 2019. Historic flooding from rapid snowmelt and ice jams, billions of dollars in damage. Could it happen again? Absolutely. Especially with the amount of snow that's about to fall and the rapid temperature increase forecast for next week, By Thursday and Friday next week, another storm system develops. The atmospheric river energy in the Pacific intensifies into a strong low-pressure system, and it tracks across the northern plains and Great Lakes. Heavy snow is possible for parts of Canada and the upper Midwest. We could be talking about another significant winter storm, and behind that storm, another shot of Arctic air. So we go from extreme cold this weekend to record warmth mid-week to another Arctic blast by next weekend. The weather pattern is incredibly active and volatile. This is not normal for mid-December. This level of temperature fluctuation, this frequency of major weather events, it's unusual. And it's going to continue through Christmas week based on current long-range models. Speaking of Christmas, let's talk about what the pattern looks like for the holiday. Right now, it appears will remain active. Not as extreme as this week, but active nonetheless. The Pacific continues to send moisture eastward. The jet stream remains amplified, meaning big swings in the weather pattern. There's potential for another winter storm right around Christmas for parts of the country. Too early to say where or how strong, but the pattern supports it. For those traveling for the holidays, you're going to want to stay very flexible with your plans. This is not a year to book tight connections or non-refundable tickets. Weather delays and cancellations are likely. Road conditions could be hazardous, and with temperatures swinging wildly, even the timing of your travel could make a huge difference. Travel Tuesday versus Travel Wednesday next week. Those could be completely different weather conditions. Let me summarize where we are and where we're going. Today, major snowstorm impacts the Midwest and spreads east. Heavy snow for millions. Travel becoming dangerous or impossible in many areas. Tonight, snow reaches the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Friday night commute will be treacherous. Accumulations of 2 to 6 inches for most, higher in jackpot zones. Saturday, the coldest morning of the winter. Dangerous to life-threatening wind chills across the upper Midwest. Temperatures below zero, widespread. Sunday, the cold reaches its maximum extent southward. Hard freeze warnings may extend to the Gulf Coast. Monday, extreme cold continues, but begins to moderate slightly across the northern tier. Still very cold everywhere, Tuesday through Thursday. Dramatic warm-up for the central U.S. Temperature swings of 70 to 100 degrees possible. Flooding concerns from rapid snowmelt. Friday and Saturday, next weekend. Another storm system. More snow possible. Another Arctic blast developing. This is a multi-day, multi-hazard weather event. Snow, extreme cold, flooding, rapid temperature changes. Each element alone would be significant. Together, they create a complex and dangerous situation. Your preparation needs to address all of these threats. For the snow, stay off roads if possible. If you must travel, extreme caution. Emergency kit in your vehicle. Extra time for every trip. For the cold, check heating systems now. Protect pipes. Bring pets inside. Limit outdoor exposure. Dress in layers. Cover all exposed skin. For the flooding in the Pacific Northwest, stay alert. Monitor river levels. Have evacuation plans ready. Move valuables to safety. For next week's warm-up, watch for flooding from snowmelt. Check your property for ice dams on roofs. Be aware that rapid temperature changes can cause other problems, like cracked foundations or burst pipes. The next 7 days will test your preparation and your decision-making. Choose safety over convenience. Choose caution over risk. This weather pattern is serious. Treat it that way. Stay informed. Stay prepared. Stay safe.